All right, we are live. What's up, everybody? Tanner Larsson here, along with my business partner, Matthew Stafford. We are not only work wives, but business partners, right? So what we're going to do today is show you a little bit of what kind of Build, Grow, Scale does behind the scenes to help our different Shopify stores and e-commerce stores, BigCommerce stores, WooCommerce stores that we work with grow and kick some ass. So at Build, Grow, Scale, the big thing that we focus on is revenue optimization. Build, Grow, Scale is an optimization company. That's all we do. We take good stores or stores that are struggling and make them great. We take the scales from the store that's basically been built or it's running, it's doing well, and we make it do exceptionally well. We add that scale portion, right? So Matt, what is basically, so everybody else on the same page with us, what does revenue optimization actually mean? What do we do?
So we recoined the term conversion rate optimization, which a lot of people think of it as CRO, as revenue optimization, because conversion rate is just one metric on your store, and it can basically be gamed. You could lower the price of your product, that would raise your conversion rate. So when we say revenue optimization, the goal from us being in business or owning a store is to make more money. And so we look at all aspects of the store to actually maximize the revenue, not just tweak your conversion rate.
So with that, it's, we're optimizing not just a metric, right? We're optimizing actually the entire buyer's journey.
Yes, and a process.
A process. So the best way that, actually I just described it this way this morning, and someone's like, oh, that makes so much sense, is if you think about the customer journey from the time the click lands on your site, the visitor, to the time they leave your site and on into the back end, that's a road. Think of that as a road they're on. Now, that if the road was smooth, everybody who landed would fly through and buy. The problem is there are speed bumps all over that road, which are all kinds of different problems with your site, glitches, confusion points, bounce rate, all these different things. And our job with revenue optimization is to remove all the speed bumps to make that road as smooth as possible. The thing is that most Shopify stores spend about this much time actually streamlining that buyer's journey. They think that the store itself is optimized, or I bought a revenue optimized theme or an optimized theme, or my theme is, conversion optimized, or whatever crap they want to think they're buying. That's not the case. What is a store?
Typically, a store is built, or a theme is built by a developer, and most developers don't understand marketing or even a buyer's journey. So I would say all Shopify themes are actually built to be an online store catalog, not a sales journey. And so when just that one tweak in your understanding of your store should help you understand some of those bumps and roadblocks that we're going to talk about on, we can pull up almost any store and find a lot of them, just because the theme's not built for that. It's really built to be an online store catalog, keep track of your inventory. And that's why average e-commerce using regular themes is probably 1.5–2%.
If they're lucky, right? So actually, Matt brought up a good point. And the whole point of this live today is we're going to take you onto one of the most popular drop shipping, because everybody's drop shipping. So we want to talk about that. Drop shipping Shopify stores out there. And we're going to actually critique it and go through it using all the best practices and all the stuff that we know from all of the big stores that we work on and all the data that we collect, because that's what we are. We're data geeks, right? That's all we do. We collect and analyze massive amounts of data between us and our 40-odd employees who do this for a living for about 20 different sites, tens of millions of dollars of ad spend a month, and millions upon millions of dollars in product sales. All that data has given us basically some really good insight into what's working and what's not working on a store. So what we like to do, we call them roasts, but they're really a critique. We're going to pull up one of these stores. In this case, it is a dropshipping store called Vanity Planet. We're going to pull it up and we're going to go through it step by step, the way a customer would go through it, and point out the good, the bad, the ugly, and tell you why these things are problems or why they could change it or what they're doing good, so that you can hopefully get some ideas for your own store. All right. So stick with us as we go through. Feel free to try to ask questions. If we can see them in the Facebook feed, we'll try to answer them. If not, we'll do our best to, wrap up at the end, okay? So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and share our screen. And let's see, where is it? It's over here. No, it's that one. Yeah, we're gonna open it up in a incognito window so that it loads fresh, just like it's supposed to for everybody. So let's get this site loading. All right, so we're gonna kind of go back and forth. Matt and Matt's gonna talk about some stuff, but this is the site. So Vanity Planet. Wow.
Yeah. Well,
There's a whole lot of stuff going on here.
yeah, we do. We feel like every page on the site should have a specific reason for being there and a specific use. Your homepage is to let them know that you landed on the right page, and then give you whatever their unique value is or the call to action, so that you can easily find what you're looking for. And that should be above the fold. So for one, they definitely have that you landed on Vanity Planet. So I would say they get an A there, but beauty for every part of your body. So I really don't know what that means. Does that mean it's makeup? Does it mean it's acne cream? Does it mean it's clothing? Or I'm assuming
it's actually looks, I guess it's cleansing, treating, and beautifying, or exploring. That's kind of odd.
To revolutionize your routine. So
explore every part of your body.
Yeah,
that's interesting. That's not a camera thing. Sorry, guys. But anyway, really, like that's just a weird thing. It makes me feel kind of odd. But the difference here is,
when you say it to me.
I know. Yeah, that didn't come out at all the way we'll skip. Moving on. It's also like, I don't know if she's supposed to look beautified or not, but to me, it looks like she's been crying a lot. I know it's just makeup, but to me, that's not exactly conveying the thing. The other thing is, this banner is so big. Like, I have to scroll a lot. So let's just talk about the banner. This is above the fold, right? We say that the term above the fold is gold, right? This is the only bit of the screen that you're guaranteed for your person to see when they land on your site. And if they don't actually see something of value there that's going to hook them and make them want to scroll, they're going to bounce. This is the biggest leader to bounce rate. So it's gold material right here that's being wasted. This banner provides no value to the customer.
It also makes a lot of assumptions.
Correct.
So they assume that you know what they're selling because they didn't actually tell you. The icons above the top, none of them have any words next to them. And so we've realized and seen tons of benefit to our sites by adding text. So telling people that that's the menu.
Yep.
A lot of us who are online all the time, we just automatically assume that everybody knows that. But we get a lift in every single site when we put the tags underneath the menu, the search bar, and I'm assuming that bag is the cart.
Shopping bag?
Yeah. So definitely it's not super clear. And if it's not clear to us, or we have to kind of make an assumption, then the average person who's online really just doesn't know what it is.
And to build on that, you as the store owner, if this was your store, you would think it looks great. And the reason you would think that is because it's your store. You know how to navigate it. You don't have to think about where that beauty product is or where that face cleanser is. You know exactly where it is. Someone who's hitting your site from an ad has never been here before. They don't know that. Now, the other things about let's talk about the navigation for a second, and actually above the fold as well. But the navigation, the hamburger style menu, right? As Matt said, it needs to say the word menu. Now, this is great for mobile. For desktop, your menu should be expanded so people can navigate faster. There's nothing here to help me navigate.
They're forcing them to scroll or click in order to choose something.
And if they don't know what those lines mean,
right.
Now the search bar, the search icon, people don't, believe it or not, I used to have a hard time with this, but it's true. A lot of people really don't know what that magnifying glass is. They don't realize it's search. Also, on a store like this, a drop shipping store, which we know has a lot of different products on it, search should be emphasized. A search customer is worth what? How many times? 3 times?
Four times.
4 times more than your average customer. Now, only a fraction of the people will ever search on your site, but if you can get them to search, they're going to be, and they purchase, they're worth 4 times as much as a regular buyer. And so one of the things we do is we emphasize search very heavily now.
The other part of this that's difficult is if you're navigating this on your phone, which is typically about 80% of traffic nowadays, your thumb can hit the cart just as easy as it hits a search, or search hits a cart, vice versa. So having some separation there also makes a big difference so you don't get a false click.
Yeah, and we're just above the fold. Now, the other thing that's going on here, now this is the last thing I'm gonna say, is we got to keep moving. I don't want this to take forever for you guys. There is absolutely no value proposition displayed up here for anybody at all. There's no reason for me to be on this site or stay on this site. Yeah. And then when you scroll, I saw it when we scroll. They have a shop now button, which is actually a terrible button. People aren't ready to shop. They're not shopping. They're in a browsing mood right now. So that's not the right terminology.
We consider them shoppers once they add something to their cart.
Correct. But right here, free shipping on orders of over $60, and then US only, which is, we'll talk about that in a second. This is a strong thing. This should be right up here at the top.
Yep.
Not where I have to scroll to see it. This may actually get someone to stay on the site a little bit longer, okay, and give you a chance. The other part here is US only. Well, okay, who are you actually serving? This is called making a business problem, right? Your customer's problem. And there's different ways that they can.
Yeah, there's a good chance that they're only running traffic in the US anyways. Yeah. And so why force everyone to go through that anyways? The chances of someone, I just don't.
And there's a geo-targeting script. There's all kinds of code you can do to make it show up for different people the correct way. But the big thing here is, this is a small example, but it makes a big difference. Do not make your business problems your customers' problems. All right, so products you'll swear by.
I like that. I like that headline. Yeah.
I think that's cool. I don't like the fact that I can't see the products. I'm assuming I have to hit these arrows.
Oh boy.
Okay, so sliders like this are terrible. Okay, first of all, on mobile too, it's harder to use, and it's not even gonna look good. You got this weird background. You got the font looking like it's breaking down over the side of it. It really is not conveying anything to me in a good way. This is something, again, that a designer created because it was flashy, and they said, oh, look at my tech skills, but it provides no value to a customer. And it actually makes it hard to view those products that they swear by.
I honestly have never seen it. And so if we go back to another issue that they're having, is they're already trying to sell on their homepage. So your homepage is not meant to sell. You can't have enough information at this point to go ahead and try to buy this.
So here instead, what Matt's suggesting is, not only should products not necessarily be right here, but what have we not seen? A single category. Right. I have to go up here to click, and the categories are skin concern, which that's a weird way of saying it too, whole body, VP clean,
which I don't know.
Glossary, like I need the glossary to know what these three things are. Yeah. Their categories need to be simplified, better named. This blue is really kind of actually makes it hard to read too. These social signals should not be up here. Definitely not. They should be down in the footer or not there at all. Once you paid a social media site like Facebook to buy the traffic to get the person to your site, the last thing you want to do is let them go back.
Yeah, you don't want to have those social icons where they go, oh yeah, I wonder what my buddy's doing on Facebook.
This is actually one of the best things we saw, except for the motion. We don't really like the motion. I can't think of the terminology, but basically the cognitive load.
Yeah. This actually is this would be a much better banner.
This could be there.
Yeah, this would be a much better banner, because essentially, remember, we said the homepage is for you stopped on the right site, so they have Vanity Planet, and
this would have been a grid above the fold, as long as they added the free shipping as well.
Yeah. So you could shop skincare, makeup, or hair care. That's excellent.
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and let's go to skincare. All right. So we're going to hop in here. So this should be taking us to a category page. And again, above the fold has a banner so big that I can't see any of the products. At this point, all I want to see is the products. That's why I clicked shop skincare, but it doesn't say skincare. It says face.
Yeah. And the reason why we're harping on this, people don't realize, like, when you force them to scroll, every time you force them to scroll, you're providing an accent point, a reason for them to go, yeah, I don't see what I want. People's attention span is so small. They'll literally go, yeah, this isn't right, and they'll leave. And
they're expecting to see the word skincare because they clicked on skincare, not face. Like, oh, I want body skincare. I wasn't trying to get to my face. Like, you can't assume that the buyer knows what's in your head as you're doing this.
Yeah.
So we come down here and let's just scroll real quick and see what we got. Okay, so
we can go through this fairly quickly. Yeah. So there's a category page. A couple things. The larger the image is, the better. Having a secondary image every single time that you click on it is not a good idea, because it's distracting. The reviews should be what we call prototypical, so what people are used to. And everyone's used to shopping on Amazon, so you would want like the Amazon yellow. That would make this better. And if you did 3 products wide instead of 4, we've never found that to lose. The less products you have in your width, the larger they are, the easier it is for people to see. And they have a lot of white space around their product too. So they could zoom in on the product and do a lot better job with the display.
Two things that I'll say on this before we go is, as you scroll, every product has a tag, a new bestseller, and the sold out products shouldn't even be showing.
Right.
Suppress your sold out products so they don't show.
Yeah.
They're wasting cognitive load. So having tags like bestseller tags or new tags or hot product, those are good in moderation.
Yeah.
The other thing is that there's a lot of products on this page, and the only filtering option they have is, they have filtering options, but why would I filter skincare by color?
Or by accessories.
So there's filters don't make any sense.
Yeah.
And the filters should never be hidden behind a click window.
Yeah.
They need to be left on the left where they're out and they can easily filter down to the product that they want.
One of the other things that by testing on the sites, we realized over the last several months that the second most valuable traffic on our site are the people that use the filters. So number one should be your search, which they have a little hourglass with no indication of what it is. And then
that's a bad
that's not a good search experience, because you should be able to go to products. And then the second thing is your filtering system. So the more people can narrow down that journey before they start looking at stuff, the more valuable they are and the more they'll convert.
And it has to be prototypical in terms of the way they can narrow down the search. So prototypical means what they're expecting.
Yeah. So they don't have to think about it to do it.
It's got to be a subconscious experience.
Yeah.
When you start like this site, it takes a lot of things out of the norm that people have to think about, like, whoa, the search box. Anytime you have a whoa moment on a site like that you're not expecting, that is an exit point for someone to just get, that's just too weird, I'm out of there. It breaks the trust, it breaks the shopping habit, and it breaks that dopamine rush that's starting to build that people get as they're shopping and buying. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at this bestseller product and take a look and see what we got. So it's loading. All right. Okay. All right, so right before I could even see the product page load completely, a pop-up showed up telling me to get 70% off the price. Okay, I can't even see the product details. I haven't browsed. I didn't try to exit. Now, there's a whole lot of things going wrong here, but the biggest thing, Matt, what happens when this happens? What do you think? What's the buyer think?
I think that if they're going to get 70% off, it means that it doesn't sell well, and so they're trying to discount it to get rid of it, which I'd want to know why it's not selling well.
That plus the other thing, the size of this discount is a problem. Okay, more so than anything else. 70% off on a product that they haven't even had a chance to see yet is like you're screaming in desperation, buy me, buy me, buy me.
Yeah.
The other thing, though,
this is really a lot cheaper than what we're asking.
Correct. Is that the perception of value? You're basically telling me, if you're not going to let me even look at the product before you hit me with a discount, you're telling me by giving me that discount that the product is overpriced by at least that much. Okay, and the fact that it popped up without me asking for it, right?
The funny thing is their product image is good. It actually even says Vanity Planet on it. They have it as if you would open it. It looks nice. I don't have any problem with their product image.
No, except it's upside down.
Well, that's because the lid's open.
Oh.
Yeah, so I actually think if they photoed that in there, then they did a nice job with it.
Yeah. So they got colors for the boxes and they're changing like they should. That's good. They're using swatches. When you have 5 or less variants on a single variant, swatches outperform drop downs.
Yeah.
And this is done very well. The swatch colors even are close to the color in the box.
I have almost 25,000.
I know it almost makes me think it's like hard to believe, right?
Yeah.
But maybe they do. That's great. But so the quantity box has this. It's changing. Don't make it all complicated.
Yeah. It doesn't show unless you're hovering.
And then the product images, they're nice imagery.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like the side slide thing because it's also moving the page. Does it? Yeah, I still have to move though.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to test that. Like everything we're talking about here, too, by the way, is a best practice, right?
Yeah, we call this a heuristic analysis because we don't see their data.
And we would never make any changes to what we're saying until we looked at the data and tagged it so we could do that. But these are all the things that we would address, right, in terms of testing it to find out if we should change it.
It would be where we look first for friction points.
So talk to me about buttons, Matt.
Well, the add to cart, they could improve it by having it stand out. So the fact that it's the same color as the menu and a couple other things on the site.
Hierarchy of focus. Right?
Yeah, they could change the color. Doesn't have to be a particular color. It just needs to stand out from the rest of the site. The buy it now button underneath, the ghost button, we don't really recommend that. We haven't found it to win in any case, because at this point, there's still a browser. When they add it to their cart, then they become a shopper. They can add some icons to their buttons. We always have found that to always win. So an arrow or a picture of a shopping cart. We've tested a lot of things, and on the add to cart button to put a little shopping cart to the right of the text, over anywhere else. They could remove the social icons from the page, because the last thing that you want to do here is, if the girl's shopping and looking at buying this, you don't want to remind her to go look and see what her friends are posting on Facebook or talking about on Twitter. So having those social icons there is really a distraction to your buyer.
And then so the other thing is, I'm trying to scroll down to see the description, and it's making me scroll through all the product images before I can get down to see.
Yeah, that's not a good experience.
No, not at all. So these are their value propositions, which are way down the page. I had to scroll probably 5 or 6 times on the wheelie thingy on my mouse just to get down here. And then they've got a 45-day money-back guarantee, daily exfoliating and silicone brush heads included.
Those are good value propositions there. I just think the fact that you had to scroll past every image,
not bad,
before you could see them, is not done well.
And then the fact that you have to click through to get these. Are they closed? Yeah.
Yeah. So progressive disclosure is a good idea. We're testing it on several sites.
Yep.
It works well, so that people get to. It's basically another form of tabs. So that people don't have to read all of your information to find out what's important to them. They can actually go to the area that they have questions.
Yeah, they've actually not done a bad job. Like decent descriptions, the icons. The biggest thing is that there's no big walls of text or hard to read things. It's so far bulleted fairly nicely. They kept it expanded a little bit so that it's easier to read. Yeah. Product care, additional information. Yeah, they've done a pretty good job here. Yeah. See this product in action, to submit. Okay, so these are their reviews, and they got, so I'm hoping these cannot be actual user submitted content. I doubt it.
No.
These are too perfect, too perfectly images. So that's a detractor. When you try, like when people are expecting to see Instagram or not like fake Instagram, but real people using your product, they expect to see human looking people that are actually like snapped with a cell phone, not some polished, airbrushed image. You actually hurt your credibility by posting this kind of stuff. They got their reviews.
I'm not sure that it's a good idea to have the tags showing.
Yeah.
That's not, you can suppress that.
Yeah, I would suppress that. Yeah. Some of these have a negative connotation, and I don't want this stuff, or the product smell. What do they? So they don't know what it means.
Add it to cart and see what the cart does.
Yeah, overall though, they're doing a lot of things right on their product page. I mean, plenty wrong at the same time. So let's add to cart. Let's see what happens. Okay, my cart. I'm in the cart, and the cart. Oh, okay, so they're running an upsell.
Actually an upsell.
That's an upsell.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So here's another thing. You just saw 2 guys that look at nothing but stores all day, every day. And we were both confused as to why the product was showing an add to cart button in the cart, because we thought it was the product, but it's an upsell.
Yeah, and maybe other people are more familiar with this. This is one thing that we don't do.
Yeah.
We're very specific about the way that we do even offer anything additional in the cart. It's not the primary focus, because that tends to cause confusion and cause a reduction in conversions. So,
and by reduction in conversions, he means such a severe reduction in completed checkouts and everything else that it offsets. It's a bigger loss than the gain you get by the AOV boost that comes from adding an in-cart upsell. It's every time, and the reason that is so think about this. I added this Ultimate Skin Spa. I'm ready to check out, or I'm ready in my cart. I'm thinking I'm ready to check out, and all of a sudden you say, "Hey, for even better results, use it with this activated charcoal clay mask." Okay, which if I'm thinking, okay, well, what's in that? So what do I have to do?
You have to go see what's in
I
that.
have to click on it and go leave the cart.
Yeah.
And now that I've left the cart, what can happen? My cell phone can go off. I can get a text message. I get yelled at work. Anything. Life happens, right? And then all of a sudden, I don't come back. Nobody is going to add this clay mask to cart. Maybe a returning customer who's bought it before, but you're by and large, nobody's going to add it without first going to research it and check out what's going on, especially for $30. So that's why we don't do that. And the stats don't lie. We are completely big into the data, and it always shows us the loss.
So they sell to US. It says all orders are processed in US dollars at the most recent exchange rate available.
Yeah.
So if you're selling to the US, I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I've seen this on a couple sites popping up. I don't know if it's something that Shopify started doing in one of their things, but I saw another site that says all orders show in USD, but was processed in AUSD. And it had the same verbiage, but we don't have this on our sites because you're confusing people.
Yeah.
And let's see if this updates. Looks like something's happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so at least that's good. You definitely want that to update. They've got Sezzle in their cart. Where can you click on it? Okay, just on the price. So now Sezzle is one of those things. There's a whole bunch of different ones. This can be good or bad. The only way to know is to actually test the data.
Yeah, we're getting good data from it.
Yep. So now we're going to go to checkout. The one thing that's missing here is there is no continue shopping button. Oh man, did you see that footer? We didn't even talk about that.
No.
Okay, let's go ahead and go into the checkout and see if they're doing anything fancy in their checkout. Are they a plus store or? Okay, so it's pretty standard checkout. Okay, so now they're adding complexity for international buyers. Import. So this is a thing that, okay, if they're really selling heavily international, then you need to figure out if this is, but otherwise you're really making information that shouldn't be there. And we see a lot of sites do this. They sell only to the US, but on the off chance that they get an international sale, Matt calls them edge cases.
Yeah.
They put that on there and they're like, well, but someone could internationally buy it and I want them to know.
Yeah. Well,
we're not building the site for the one person who buys from Uganda. Right. We're building the site for the 99.99999% of the people that you're running traffic to.
Yeah, and the 20% that generate all the revenue. And if it's the US buyers that are buying this in large, then the site should serve the US buyer.
Yep, and they are at least matching their button color so it's consistent through the site. That's important.
Yep.
They're not leveraging the phone field correctly or the email field. They are at least they're suppressing the company business field. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. Also, if you're not actually using phone numbers, you should turn this field off. Yeah. If you're not doing SMS or phone stuff, every additional field that you require someone to fill out reduces completion and conversion.
And if you're not asking for the phone number, that's our largest source of revenue recovery for the abandoned sequences. We use Shop Message, use email, use Carts Guru, all of them, and by and large, the SMS recovers the most.
Because your phone's always next to you, right?
Yeah.
Now, up at the top, now there's a lot that can be done to optimize a checkout page that this site is not doing. We actually, Build Grow Scale has an app that we use internally and for our members that allows us to really dial in this checkout page for maximum conversions. But one thing they should be doing is there's no trust factor in terms of we have support, we're here for you if you need us. And you can upload a different logo on your checkout page. So that up there, we always have our support phone number, our email address or whatever, and we've tested it again. And every time it wins, they don't actually use it, but the fact that they know it's there gives them that comfort level to go ahead and click the purchase button. We usually also suppress these until the payment page. Now we are testing it on a few sites and sometimes it wins and sometimes it doesn't. But the thing here is if they check out on one of these options, you lose the ability to follow up with them for an abandoned cart. So we want them to fill out this email and the phone number and everything else. So by suppressing these till the payment information page, it prevents them from leaving the site without you collecting the information that you need. So if you're getting a lot of abandonment, this could be part of the problem. The other thing is looking at your percentages of how many people actually pay with these third-party payment things. PayPal is usually about 25 to 30% or more of a site's revenue when they accept it. Amazon Pay or Google Pay, sometimes they're less than a percentage point. Yeah. And if that's the case, you're better off just taking it off. That one customer who wanted to pay with it will pay with something else. or they won't. But by having that, you're actually making them think more, which is, again, what we're not trying to do. We want them to just flow through the process. All right, so before we end this one, we got to talk about the footer a minute. That thing was ridiculous. So the footer's huge. I wonder, let's see what happens. Okay, so, all right, so I just tried to get 10% off my first order by putting in a bogus email address, which is what everybody's going to do a lot of the time. But it also took me off the page, took me somewhere else.
Yeah, so it was a redirect.
So it was a redirect. And that, again, you don't want that. There's ways to do this. And they're not doing necessarily a bad thing. That 10% off thing is something we use a lot as well. But you want to give them the coupon code on the page. Don't make them leave. Okay, and now I'm hit with this thing to, what do I want to do? I just want the coupon code. So if I don't do this, do I not get the coupon code? I would imagine that's the case.
And then you're gonna, well, yeah, because technically you haven't.
I haven't subscribed
yet. Email yet.
No.
I actually like the information they're trying to gather here, but I wouldn't make it before you give them the code.
No, now you're putting them, making them jump through hoops. This person wanted to check out. They're ready to buy because they're asking for a coupon code.
Yeah.
And now you're making it like, you know what? I don't want to do all that.
And we find the people that opt in on those, they convert in double digits.
Yeah.
Where we do it, where we give them the code right there. So typically that's more than 2 or 3 times what the store is converting at itself. So not to like confuse the offer right here.
So it just kind of, with this site though, I mean, they're running traffic, obviously. They're getting, lots of visitors a day. They're making sales. They're making money. Okay. The problem is there's still a whole lot of room for simple improvement, really, that could probably double the output of this store.
Yeah, and they're doing quite a few things right too.
Yep.
So
it's definitely not all negative. A lot of our things wind up where they're doing so much wrong, it looks like there's nothing positive. No, this store is doing a lot of things right, but there's still enough room for improvement. Okay. Now here's the thing about this, guys. What we just showed you is what we call, Matt mentioned earlier, a heuristic analysis. And we did a very quick surface level one to kind of show you guys some of the bigger points. Now, while we talked about a bunch, on every page, we probably skipped over 10 or 15 different things that we would have notated on if we were doing this for one of our clients or one of our members or things like that. Yeah, I do. So like we call them store audits. And here's one right here. This particular one is, 15, 16 pages long. But basically they're like single bullet list items where it's just super detailed on every little nuance of all the things that should be improved, problem areas, glitches we noticed, improvement areas, optimizations that need to be made, things that are missing. And it's like a complete deep dive dissection of a store. And the process used to do that, as Matt said, is called a heuristic analysis. We just demonstrated a very light version of that. Now, what we always get from doing these things, the reason I'm talking about this is every time we do one of these roasts or these critiques live, people are like, dude, this is awesome. Matt, how do I get it done on our store? Can your experts go through this thing and tell us what's wrong with our store so we know what to fix? And for the longest time, we said no. We're like, no, it's not something we do for anyone else. We do it for our amplified partners and that's about it. And then it just kept getting longer. And then our members started asking for it. So finally we said, well, yeah, let's see what we can do. So we started having some of our staff, our revenue optimization experts, start doing these for our members. And it turned into something that both our members liked it. They got a ton of value out of it, had great results. And then our staff enjoyed it and they made them better at their jobs. And we realized we actually have slack time in our schedule for our team. So we said, hey, what if we actually open this up to the public and say, hey, if you have a Shopify store, an e-commerce store, a WooCommerce store, a BigCommerce store, something like that, and you'd like our team to go through and completely do a deep dive analysis and tell you everything that we see on your site that has an issue or is a problem or could be improved and deliver it to you on a silver platter in a complete, PDF format, everything you need with clickable links and screenshots and all of that, then why not do it? When we have slack time, we'll make that available. So if that is something you would like to do, I'll just do it for you, Matt. Okay. You guys, I have a little link right here, but I don't know if you can see it. If you can't, it's buildgrowscale.com/audit. And we'll put the link in the chat, buildgrowscale.com/audit. If you're interested in that, if you'd like to have Matt, myself, our team go through, actually, you don't want Matt or I, truthfully. You want one of our team members to do it because they're actually the guys who are so much better at it than us because they do it 40 hours a week, every day. on ridiculous numbers of sites. So if you would like our team to go through and basically do a complete store audit for you, go to that link, check it out. All the details are there. If it's open, because again, we only offer this when we have availability. If it's open, there'll be a buy link on the page. If you want it, you can take it. If you don't, no worries, but there's all the information you need right there on the page for you to see if a store audit is right for you. And what we just showed you right now is just scratching the surface of what it really is. But it's everything we showed you here times like a million is what you get in your store audit. I promise you guys will like it. So if it's something you have and you have a store, the cool thing, we didn't talk about low-hanging fruit. You want to tell them about that?
When we do the audit,
Yeah.
because they tend to be long.
Like this one, 16 pages. And you'd probably feel a little overwhelmed after you got it when there's just so much to do, right?
And so we've always told people that you need to do it in chunks. And so what we've done is we've actually created a section in it called low-hanging fruit, where we think that these are things that we know without a doubt, without having to test them. They're clarity issues that if you fix these,
3 to 5, usually.
3 to 5 things that are low-hanging fruit, we know that you'll see an immediate boost. And our goal in doing that is that it will pay for the audit itself
At the very least.
and then also show that there's some value provided in what we did, and then maybe we can talk to you about other things.
Yeah, and ideally also after you do the low-hanging fruit, those are the biggest wins that we've seen on your store. You implement that, you're going to see a lift. And then more than likely, you'll take the rest of the audit seriously and go back and implement everything on it.
Yeah.
And
or at least look at your site different and start questioning.
Correct.
Things.
And then like Matt said, the sneaky under the table, like dastardly plan we have is that if we demonstrate our value here and help your store do better by doing a site audit for you, maybe you'll want to work with us in the future on something else. And then you'll come back to us. So that's our whole super secret dastardly plan. But again, obviously the store audit only helps if you have a store. But if you're wondering why, traffic's not performing quite as well for you as it should be, or you just can't get that profitability to increase when you try to grow or scale your ads, and you're wondering what is going on? Well, chances are it's not your traffic. Chances are it's probably not your product. More than likely, it's what's in between there. It's what happens after the click and before the sale, because it's the most neglected real estate and territory in your business.
And it's typically not what a business owner has time to focus on.
That's true. And it's not your specialty, right?
Right.
A business owner should not be specialized in that. They're not optimization experts. They're business owners. Your job as a solopreneur or a small business owner is to run, operate, and grow your business, leveraging outside resources to help you do that at the most effective rate. And that's what we're providing to you here, is we're giving you some of our resource capability to help you do a better job growing your business. So if that's of interest to you, go on over to buildgrowscale.com/audit. Check it out. And if it is, pick up an audit, and we look forward to helping you soon. And also, if you liked this video, comment on it, share it. If there's other sites you'd like us to do, share those. We do these for fun.
Yeah.
Like we get a kick out of it. So if you like it, let us know. So we'll keep doing them. All right. With that, we'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao.
Yeah.